Hello again. Your words make me smile. Hello again, everyone. In this segment, I'm sorry to say you're stuck with my commentary for the whole video clip. I don't have any audio or video or any of that. We're going to talk about the North Carolina Republican Party Executive Committee meeting that occurred at the 2014 convention. By the way, my opening singing there was the first line of Hootie and the Blowfish, which Darius Rucker, who's now a country singer, used to be a rock singer. And he was a whole lot better with it. It's called Only Lonely on the Inside. And to me, it's a really good song. It's kind of melancholy, but still, I really like it because it was on Dawson's Creek season 2. So, and I lived in Wilmington for 5 years, so a little sentimental value there. Okay, the executive committee meeting. My biggest beef with the executive committee meetings at the convention is they always start them so darn late on Sunday morning. Okay, they always start them at like 10:30 or 11 o'clock. In 2012 and 2013, the convention was in Greensboro and Charlotte. And the later start time was not an issue because we had quorum for the meeting. Well, in 2014 at the convention, it was held way out west in Cherokee, North Carolina at the fabulous Harrah's Casino Resort Hotel. And it started about 10:30, 11 o'clock, which, hey, was not good because we did not have a quorum, so no business got done. Let's see, we needed 122 members for quorum, and we gosh darn were 4 members short of quorum. We had 118 at the meeting. Now, Michael Lyons, he raised a point of personal privilege. He said, look, let's take a short recess to recruit members. They may have found the mountains tough to resist. That was his actual quote, believe it or not. But they had already extended registration like 10 minutes to try to get people to get quorum. That happened at the very end of the meeting when they open up for old business, new business. What I'm going to do now is backtrack, go back to the beginning here, and we have the chairman's report of Chairman Claude Pope. And what was weird about this sighting of Claude Pope was he was wearing Bald Head Island blues shorts and t-shirts. He also talked about Highway 19, which is a curve in mountain road, and he said, look, I'm going to need brakes when I get back to Brunswick County, which is out east, and it's like 6-7 hours across the state. So I'm going to need brakes because, yeah, and unfortunately, this happened to me too, is I took Highway 19 into Cherokee because I was staying in Maggie Valley. So I think next time I'll stay in Cherokee, pay the extra money, and not have to worry about my brakes either. Because Highway 19, it's a winding mountain road, and it goes way up the mountain, okay? Which you don't need your brakes on, but the car I was driving at the time was a little Suzuki SX4 compact, and yeah, not a lot of horsepower going up mountains. Then on the way down, it's I know you're supposed to downshift, but honestly, I was scared to death going down the mountain. How I drive down the mountain is pump the brakes. 1, 2, 3, hit brake for like 2 seconds, and then don't hit brake, and pray the whole time. You know, Jesus, please take the wheel, keep me safe on the road on this winding down the mountain, this long, steep descent. Okay. Claude Pope, he had an addition to Dearly Departed, which, if you don't know what that is every year at the state convention, they will have a list of Republican Party members who have passed away in the past year, and they'll give them a little tribute and say their name and county. Claude Pope wanted to add to the dearly departed report that Peggy Ferguson of Gaston County is somebody who we should pay our respects to in the dearly departed report. Claude said the Cherokee location was needed to get the mountain counties involved. My opinion of that is yes and no. The thing about this thing was in 2011, the convention was way down in Wilmington, which is good for me because I got to sleep in my own bed at night. I had to worry about paying for a hotel, and my gas money for traveling was like, $1 or $2. And keep in mind, gas was going for like $3.50 a gallon back in 2011, and then I had to pay like $5 a day to park at the convention. So it was like 10, $12 or whatever, traveling there. So then what happened was Robin Hayes said, "Hey, look, I want to move let's have the convention in Cherokee. If we had the convention in Wilmington, we got to go out west. If we're out east in Wilmington, we got to go out west Cherokee, right?" So that's the NCGOP leadership's logic there. My opinion is you should always have the convention in 4 different cities. It should be in Charlotte, Winston-Salem, Greensboro, or Raleigh. Any of those 4 cities is fine. Central part of the state, and keep things as fair as possible, especially when you have the officer elections years. Because what might happen in 2017 is New Hanover County is kind of going through a rebuilding process right now as a county party, but Brunswick County has always been a strong establishment-oriented county, and most of them will probably they'll get a lot of delegates, and most of them, about 90% of which will probably go for Robin Hayes for re-election in 2017. Okay, so got off on a tangent there. Back to Claude Pope's report. He said we only have 24 hours in a day. We can spend an hour debating, or we can knock on 20 doors, 25 phone calls, which I thought that was kind of a harsh remark. I mean, in my opinion, there's a time to do party business, and there's a time for electioneering. Here it is, early June. It's time to do party business, okay? In early September, early October, it's time for electioneering and put the party business aside. That's what he should have said. Okay. He said leadership starts in your house and room, and executive committee members need to be leaders. He said we don't have time to debate platform resolutions now. I think that's a crock. He said victory centers more are opening up in 2014 than 2012. Says your party needs money, and the county and state need money because it costs a lot of money for the NCGOP to hand out voter guides. He says you should write a check first to your county, then your state, then the candidates. Personally, I think it should be candidates, county, state, in that order. Okay, now we have the vice chair report of the lovely Carolyn Justice. I say lovely because she was a Newt Gingrich supporter back in 2012 instead of Mitt Romney in the Republican primary. And she also really did a good job of getting people in Pender County, her home county, to vote for Hassan Harnett back in the 2015 chairman's election. Okay, so Carolyn Justice, she says we need to build a relationship between elected officials and the party. I agree. She said legislatures have their own jobs, side jobs, and then they do their jobs as legislatures. Said they had a great reception for the opening day at the legislature in 2014. She said her main goal was to improve the technology at the headquarters. Most of the computers are at least 10 years old. She said we need to have a serious ground game in the fall, which the ground game was successful because Tom Tillis got elected to the U.S. Senate and defeated Kay Hagan. Then she said, I'm going to send an email or letter to executive committee members asking for $100. Come on, Carolyn, really? You're better than that. She said we must get our voters to the polls. I agree. Jeff Morris, Treasurer Report, nothing there. Legal Counsel Report, Michael McKnight. He said there are no current legal issues. We'll be working on legal matters that may arise from radio or TV ads for candidate issues. And also, we'll be working on the post-2014 recount if necessary. National Committee Man's Report. This was done by Representative David Lewis. David Lewis, who, in my opinion, he was okay. He wasn't some conservative hero like Morton Blackwell or Curly Hoagland out in North Dakota. He was okay. He did a good job at the 2012 Executive Committee meeting, I thought, but he was just okay. It's like my orthodontist telling me when I was a child. My mom saying, "How did Poppy do brushing?" And my orthodontist said, "Yeah, we'll give him a C. He did okay. Not really good, not really bad. He did okay." Alright, sorry. So Representative David Lewis, who resigned in 2016 from his post, and now a guy, David Brody, I believe is his name, got elected that. And he apparently is a good conservative from what I've heard. David Lewis started his report by saying, "Seeing Claude Pope in shorts does traumatize me a bit." That was another funny moment from the convention. He said he had statistics out that said 53% disapprove of Obama, 63% disapprove of Obamacare, and 6 out of 10 voters feel that the American dream is out of reach. Okay. He also said Wake County is the key to the 2014 election. Okay, now we have the National Committee Woman report out. Ada Fisher. Ada Fisher, if you know, got elected in 2008 to the National Committee Woman post, and then got reelected in 2012. She had a good reputation as a conservative and a Tea Party / libertarian-friendly committee woman until 2012, when she was in on the Rules Committee controversy with the Romney campaign and that sort of thing. She talked about Rule 12 taking power away from local counties. That's something they're trying to reword and stuff, and that's her way of kind of window dressing that I'm doing everything I can, even though she had a hand in crafting the original Rule 12, I should say. She said that the RNC is trying to decide on a site for the 2016 convention. They looked at Dallas, Kansas City, and Cleveland. Of course, they ultimately went with Cleveland. August was the decision date of that. She said that so far she's heard the 2016 presidential candidates, Rick Perry and Chris Christie, are possible candidates. She also said that there's been a lot of talk of North Carolina moving their primary up from May to January, February. But she said if North Carolina does do a January or February primary, your delegate count gets cut. So in other words, that's less voters for you to send to Cleveland to the National Republican Convention. Ultimately, North Carolina decided to do a March 15th primary. It still had an effect. It was very close. I think Donald Trump beat Ted Cruz by only like 3 percentage points. It was still consequential, more so than May, but still would have been nice if North Carolina could go first, instead of it always being Iowa, New Hampshire, you know. Okay. The rule says if a presidential candidate participates in a non-RNC sanctioned debate, the candidate will not be allowed to participate in an RNC-sponsored debate. I think that's a load of hooey. The problem is the RNC, they've been controlling the debate process, which I don't have a problem with. However, I do have a problem with them saying if a candidate participates in a non-RNC debate, you will not be allowed to participate in our debate, kind of thing. And also, oh gosh, what else was I trying to say here? Presidential candidate participates in non. Oh yeah. Also, let's face it, the moderators for these RNC sanctioned debate, pardon my French here, really suck. Okay? They're liberal trolls, okay? Why can't the RNC get Rush Limbaugh, Mark Levin, Laura Ingraham, and a whole host of conservative commentators to moderate the debates? They would be so much better moderating the debate than Chris Wallace. Who else? Oh my gosh, Megyn Kelly. Oh, Bob Schieffer. Any of these other liberal goat hacks. You know, it's just crazy. Okay. There was discussion with the Commission on Presidential Debates, which is a bipartisan debate planning organization, that they were heavily looking at High Point University, which is right outside Greensboro. But there's a criteria that has to be met, and you have to have a lot of hotel rooms to accommodate crowds. Obviously, all the candidates, their staff, and all the media and their staff, it's a lot of people. It's like over 1,000 people that you have to put in hotel rooms. Ada Fisher also said that the RNC is selling socks for $35. It's a yellow color signed by former President George H.W. Bush, the better Bush, in my opinion. She said the RNC is engaged in a minority outreach program. She said after the 2012 election, around that time, there were more babies born of color than white. And in 18 years, in 2030, they'll be in the majority. So she says the Republican Party has to be aware of the demographics time bomb. They can't always rely just on the white voters to win. They need to look at black. They need to do better with their outreach among blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. She said we should not change out our principles. We need to sell our product better. And she says North Carolina has 11 historically black colleges. They are 10% of the population. She said that is a good outreach opportunity. She is looking at help, which I think is a great thing for that. Okay, that was the executive committee meeting. Guess what? After living in 3 houses, using 2 computers, I am finally done covering the whole 2014 North Carolina Republican Convention. Yippee! Yay me, right? So now I'm going to be working on we're starting to follow the 2017 North Carolina GOP officer races and that sort of thing. And I'll also I want to dig into the 2016 RNC Rules Committee meeting that was held at the convention. That's like 7 hours long, and maybe by 2020 I'll have myself will be doing YouTube commentary, and I'll have all that complete, dissecting the whole whatever it was 10-hour meeting and stuff. Anyway, I am the Conservative Pelican. Don't forget about my blog. It's theconservativepelican.blogspot.com. I don't know when I'll have another entry done. Maybe I'll do something within the next couple months or so. Usually with the blog, I just kind of write and do, when I feel like it, whenever something really hits me that I want to write about. So we'll see. But right now, I'm really liking the video commentary. That's really what I like, a little bit more than the writing, in my opinion. But both involve a lot of work, but they're fun to do. They do involve a lot of work, though. It's like going for a walk. It's a lot of work, but then again, after you do it for 45 minutes to an hour, you really feel good. So anyway, I am the Conservative Pelican. Please, if you live in North Carolina, get involved with the Republican Party if you're not already. If you're an independent conservative, please get involved. Go to the county convention. Go to the district convention. And oh yeah, it's not an endorsement, but I really, really like Jim Womack for North Carolina GOP chair. It's not an endorsement, but I really like him. Okay. All right. Goodbye. Bye-bye.